Hello and welcome to Spot On. This time we are in a joyful mood as India won the T20 World Cup. So we'll be talking about the final between India and South Africa. So welcome to Spot On, this edition of the final of the T20 World Cup between India and South Africa. It was one of the most thrilling finals, World Cup finals I've seen in recent years. India and South Africa played a thrilling encounter in Bridgetown, Barbados at the Kensington Oval. India batted fairly okay on this pitch, and then it looked like at one stage South Africa would go on to win the game easily, and then the match switched dramatically. So 30 runs of 30 balls, that was what South Africa needed, and they had wickets in hand, and it looked like an international team of their caliber would win that match easily. But then it changed dramatically. Brilliant spells from Arshdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah, and then Hardik Pandya at the end swung the match India's way. And then Surya Kumar Yadav took that brilliant catch. So, Jitesh, you think that was the turning point of the match? The way the bowlers came back so strongly for India.
Yep. Again, good evening, everybody. Thanks for inviting me for this episode. What a feeling. We are the world champions now. You can look at my t-shirt. So I am representing the Indian win today in our episode.
That's nice.
Such a surreal feeling. I slept at around 7 a.m. that day, Singapore time, because I was not able to sleep after what we achieved. Right,
I think the match finished about 2:15.
Yes. So, as you said, right, everything for a Bollywood masala movie, the final that happened, the way the toss started, Rohit Sharma took batting, everybody had like why he chose to bat, he could have chased, right? So, I mean, just going by the norms and the rules, put the score on the board on the final and then defended. I think that's what they opted for. And started with a few quick wickets, India. And then the partnership between Kohli and Akshar, I think it was a very good move by India to
I think
promote
for
Akshar.
once in the tournament, Kohli batted well. I think
Yes.
after 8 matches,
Yeah.
without really scoring.
Yeah. I mean, yes, the partnership was very crucial. I think Kohli was struggling for the first 42 balls that he faced. His 50 was also a runner ball. And there were lots of questions about the slowness and everything and the strike rate that he had. I think he was getting compared to Babar Azam a lot in that inning. However, I think that was the need of the hour.
But I thought Rohit Sharma, Pant, all got trying to sweep or playing in the
Yes.
ball on the leg side, which I think to some extent they could have avoided. I think.
I
Playing
mean,
the
they were successful doing in the previous
Previous
innings. I
matches,
think
yeah.
Pant always when he bats, especially in T20s, I think in Test cricket as well, his batting is like he will always take chances. He will give you chances to get him out.
Yeah.
And the way he got out with that full toss, bottom edge, and he was clueless also what kind of shot he played, but he unfortunately got out. So everything said. That was crucial wicket because India needed to fire from the top because Kohli was not making runs. Rohit Sharma was performing. Pant had good outing 1, 2, 3 innings. So their wicket were crucial, but South Africa did well. They got their early wickets.
Yeah.
And then
So now, for me, I think after India lost those 3 early wickets, Akshar Patel played a superb
Absolutely.
innings. It is, I think, a good move to send him at that
Yes.
spot, and then he played a gem of an innings. I
Yes.
think it's very crucial for India
Yeah.
to put up that total.
Yeah, so the key thing about that first inning, batting was that Kohli kept, one wicket
Going.
of his own, so that he can bat long and he can
Yeah,
give
yeah.
opportunities to other to come up with big shots, and that is exactly what Akshar did. The few sixes that he hit was unreal. So
Yeah.
at that point of time, with so much of pressure, I think it was the best move that would have happened for India and while
No
batting.
doubt. He was bold and confident, and he played
Absolutely.
with such assurance. It
Yes.
was like
And not to
amazing to
forget
play with.
Shivam Dubey's inning as well.
Yeah,
I mean, we
I'm
talked
not
about
a great
him.
fan of Shivam Dubey's batting, but I thought he scored 25 odd runs.
Correct,
whatever he
correct,
scored,
correct.
yeah.
And that was also very crucial because it was him who, because when Akshar got out, it was him who was hitting
There.
those big shots and everything, and that's how they were in the chase. Not in the chase, but they were in the chase to put a good total. Anything below 150 would have been a very struggling score. I think everybody knew
Yeah.
how the 170 score was really the game changer.
Yeah.
But with Kohli's approach of the batting, and with these cameos from Akshar, from Shivam Dubey, and not to forget Hardik Pandya only got 2-3 balls to play
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
end. So
yeah.
it was a par score that India managed. And
Because at one stage I thought that probably they were 15 to 20 runs
Yes,
short.
absolutely.
That's what I felt.
yes, absolutely.
There was a bit slow going at times, and it was not a very assured Indian batting.
yes.
Maybe if Rohit and Pant or Surya would have been there, the pace would have been much
Yes.
quicker. I think.
Yes, yes.
So India got at some certain stages bogged down a bit, but still a decent score on that
Yep.
pitch.
I
Where-
mean, the pitch was not difficult to bat on. It was, I think, South Africa also, they were bowling really well.
yeah,
The key difference was India took on their spinners.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to, but the spinners really bowled well. Comparatively, what Indian spinners, they leaked runs, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, but South Africa bowled to the plan, and I think they, with the quick wickets and also the middle order, they kept Kohli at check. He was not able to
Yeah.
get those
Only
wayward deliveries.
disappointment was, I think, Marco Jansen. I think he didn't. He's quite erratic quite often. You are unpredictable sort of bowler, but in the final, I think he didn't bowl that well.
In fact, in our
That
last
would have-
episode, that's what we were discussing. That the key advantage for India with the new ball is Jansen, because
Yeah.
he's wayward. He will
Yeah.
come up with one or two,
Unplayable
surprise
deliveries.
bouncers, but he's wayward.
Yeah.
Yep.
So so India on that pitch, I think, where really the ball was not coming on that well, but still put up a decent total in the end. So all the question was how the South African batsmen would cope on that pitch.
Yeah.
And considering the strong batting lineup they have, it looked like a total which they would easily chase it down. And though they lost Riza Hendricks quite early, I think Quinton de Kock,
For me, that was ball of the tournament.
Yeah.
The one that Bumrah bowled to Hendricks.
Hendricks, yeah.
The outswinger, the late swing that he got, it was the perfect
Yeah,
ball
when you
that you
see
can
it in
bowl to a
slow
opener.
motion, the way
Exactly.
the ball came in, it was like amazing stuff.
The key for South Africa was the de Kock was firing on all those games that they were winning convincingly, and he came to the party.
Yeah.
When he was going, and before Klaasen joined him, they were sailing through the chase.
Yeah.
And then when Klaasen took over after de Kock got out, and again the de Kock's wicket was again well planned. If you see the way he got out, just before he got out, he hit a six there.
Yeah.
And Arshdeep stick to that plan, and they put Kuldeep Yadav
Yeah,
there
yeah.
so that he can go for that shot, and it was a bit of slower one.
Yeah.
And exactly the same thing happened.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was all good strategies that was working well for India as well. However, everything was going out of the park when Klaasen was batting.
Klaasen made it look so easy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely classy innings. The way he
Yes.
was hitting the ball with such ease. And it looked at that stage that, South Africa will just
Yeah.
sail through. But the key thing there was India didn't panic.
Yes.
India didn't panic, and they didn't give up.
Yes.
And Rohit's captaincy at that time, I think, was really good. And then they did put pressure on. He made some good bowling changes.
Yes.
And then once Klaasen got out, and then the amazing catch that Surya took of Miller.
Coming to that, just a bit on that first 15 overs. I don't think so. Things were moving as per the plan with Rohit and Dravid thought
Yeah.
about as
Yeah.
per their bowling plan. The key part was Pant's break that he took,
Yeah, I know that.
and that was after
Yeah,
15th
yeah,
over, and
yeah.
it just broke the the flow,
Yeah.
how Klaasen and
Klaasen
everybody
were
was
playing.
going on, and the next ball.
He just did a Gulbuddin knife,
Yes.
but it worked in favor
Yeah,
of India.
because you were so high in confidence, you're hitting every ball, because he was easily hitting the spinners, and you know how world class he is hitting spinners, right? I think that bowling change from that point of time, the 15.1 over, after that, India never looked back. I think everything, all the stars were aligned for them, and every ball that they were bowling, I think the batsmen were finding it difficult after that.
And the pressure really built on the South
Correct.
African batting.
Yes.
And amazing overs from Jasprit and
Coming
Bumrah
to
and
Rohit's captaincy, right? So after the 15th over, he had this question that because every game Bumrah was bowling the penultimate 19th over, and that is where I think he chose the master stroke, and he bowled him for 2 overs and finished his spell by 18th over. I think those 2 overs, the 12 balls, I think 30 of 30, and the last over was 16 of 6. So 24 balls, India only gave 14 runs. And if you'll see the highlights, and if you go, if people who were watching the game live, there were no bad balls or deliveries which were there for easy to hit out of the park. And I think they gave everything, all the bowlers, Bumrah, Arshdeep, those 3 overs were the, the gold dust that they wanted. And that's how we came back to the game. And 16 runs in a final World Cup for last over is too much of an ask. And then you get first ball catch. And the kind of catch that Surya took, I mean, amazing, right? Can't believe that at that pressure of a final, you go for it.
It just shows why Bumrah is the best T20
Yes.
bowler in the world, or for that matter.
Any format, yes, any format.
And he was like unplayable throughout the tournament, and no batsman really faced him with any confidence.
Yes.
And it showed that.
Yes.
And there's a little bit of controversy about that catch that Surya took, with some feeling that he just touched the boundary cushion. But it should be granted to him that he wouldn't know that he's going to go and feather touch the
when you have a near perfect game, right? Obviously, people will try to find faults, right? Surya will never ever imagine that the first ball of the last over will be bowled outside the off stump, a mid full toss. It will come for a catch, and he will move the cushion. That it is impossible. I mean, people are saying about it. It is part of the game, so you can't.
And for the third umpire also, they were saying it favored India and all that. From the angles which are shown, I don't think he could have
not at all.
Touching the cushion so in a right manner. It would have been impossible unless there were so many replays.
Correct.
So I wouldn't really.
I think that is totally baseless. I think we should not invest any time on that.
And this was probably one of the most superb catches I've ever seen on a field of cricket. And to take it at that junction and to show the presence.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To do that, it's really
that's crazy. Yeah, crazy is the word. Yeah. And coming to your point that you made, Bumrah is the best bowler in the world right now, all formats. So I have this stat. In this World Cup, he bowled 29.4 overs, which is nearly 180 balls, right? 110 were dot balls across entire the World Cup, right? And 15 wickets with an economy of 4. I mean, this is unreal. I have never seen anybody bowling these many of dot balls, and these dot balls are not because he's coming in those kind of middle overs where people are not taking chances. He's bowling, key overs with the new ball, with the penultimate overs, then last death overs, where everybody goes for shot. Irrespective whatever the opponents were, you had world-class international batsmen who were facing him. Everybody was fearing Bumrah when he was coming with the ball. So it shows from the stats, and it's amazing.
You said unreal. Another unreal thing was the Indian fielding.
Yes.
I've never seen an Indian team fielding so well.
Yes.
I mean, Indians are sort of known to be lazy on the field, and not chasing down balls and not going for this, the impossible catches. But this was like amazing stuff to see.
Correct.
Akshay Patel in previous matches.
Yes.
Amazing catches. Siraj against Pakistan and Surya's catches.
But this is interesting. We are saying we have not seen India fielding like this in any of the previous World Cups. But they were the second from the bottom for the catch conversions.
Oh, really?
they did drop few catches, which was just above Australia, who were the worst in the World Cup in the Super 8 state. This is a stat that I read. But stats are stats, right? The impact of the fielding was huge. Absolutely. I mean, they were going for everything. Akshay Patel's catch, Surya's catch, all of these catches, Pant's catch in the previous games. all of them were, I mean, they were destined to win this World Cup because everything was coming, gelling up. The
And
stars were
Surya's
aligned
that
for
low
them.
slip catch also was
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
amazing, amazing
absolutely.
catch. Like,
So when you are, as I think we have discussed this before, when your dressing room is positive, right, off the field, when you are, enjoying each other's success, when you are happy together in the field, all of these comes into place. Then even if a mishaps, a run out that you have missed, or a catch that you have dropped, doesn't matter because everybody is backing themselves and they're saying it's okay, we are ready for the next one. And I think India has shown same for their batting. Not everybody, there was not one person like Virat Kohli in the previous editions of World Cup. If you see 2 3 editions that he used to lead the run scoring, and every game he used to score. And then there was one person who was always leading the batting chart. But this World Cup, everybody was pitching in when it was required. Akshay Patel, Rishabh Pant
everyone.
during the New York phase of the games, right?
Even my
Hardik Pandya,
favorite player, Dubey, has done
Shivam Dubey. So everybody was chipping in with what is required at the need of the hour. So I think that's where I think it was destined from them that they are looking for something big. And yes, the kind of World Cup final that we had, nobody imagined that a bowling side defending 30 runs in 30 balls at that pitch, which doesn't have demons, and where a world class player like Klaasen and Miller are still at the crease, India will win. But hats off the way these
No,
guys
I
performed.
will, to a large extent, I'll give credit to the bowlers. I think
Yes.
they did much better than the batters
Yes.
in this tournament for India.
Yes.
And they bailed India out on many occasions, I
Yeah.
think, throughout the tournament. So, for India, after being in two finals last year, the Test Championship,
Yeah.
and the one day
Two finals in
World
8 months.
and then the
Yeah.
third one they backed it.
Correct. 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 Correct.
That was really fantastic. That's,
And I think I mean, you have witnessed and everybody has seen, and it showed in the emotions that Indian team had. And it was not about Rohit Sharma that he wanted to win a World Cup, Virat Kohli wanted to win a World Cup. The entire team, the emotions that they had, and the way they celebrated itself meant that they wanted this so badly. I mean, if you see last 2 3 years, I think in world cricket there is no other successful team than India. I know Australia has won all the trophies,
Yeah, yeah.
but the kind of form
Yeah,
in 2020,
semi-final, finals,
yeah,
most of the
2023 50 overs World Cup, they were unbeaten until the final. Similar this time also, and they are the only undefeated team to win a World Cup. So that speaks a volume about how they have
Even
performed.
this World Cup, at one stage, it looked like India would, lose out in the final. The way
Yeah.
the South Africans had the chance, but you feel really sorry for South Africa also to
Yes.
some extent because they have this chokers tag,
Yeah.
and in this tournament, in certain situations, they look like they would choke in even the league stage and the
Mm.
Super 8, but they somehow fought hard and came through those, and there was good captaincy.
I think the South African ex-cricketers and the legends, they were always thinking that South Africa got 2 3 chances to prove themselves they are chokers in this World Cup, and they overcome all of those, and then they were in final, and they were so confident that now nothing can happen like that. But it was written, so destiny has its own story, right?
Yeah, yeah.
30 ball, 30 runs is a kind of choker tag that they carried. But unfortunately, or I disagree with the word chokers because they have always been world class. I mean, the players and the way they play the brand of cricket that the South Africans play, it's not about choking. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's 90% of hard work and 10% of luck also. The 10% prevails for them. If you remember the 92 World Cup, 1 ball 27 runs before the rain, they were sailing through. So those kind of things has happened. The other one when Boucher had to take that single in the previous World Cup semi-final. So all of these were there, but this time they had a chance. I mean, no rains, nothing. They were there, and they had the opportunity to grasp the World Cup. They were in the final, unfortunately, but I mean, we can't take away from the way they performed. Also, they also came undefeated till the final. So it's hats off to Makaram and the way he took his team
Yeah,
forward.
we should say that this is a good. The team selection was good,
Yes.
and the South African team looks solid.
Yeah.
Now, in every department, they were really excellent. But on that day, the Indian bowlers were really top class
Yes.
towards the end, and the Bumrah and company just delivered the win for India.
Yep.
So, a great thing to happen for Indian cricket, winning this T20 World Cup. came at a right juncture,
Yep.
and they wanted it badly. And winning this World Cup after 13 years was really
Correct.
good job done. So there were, of course, critics and all the time like saying India was given the good draw and they knew exactly where they were playing, and even the traveling, they didn't have much traveling to do between matches compared to the other teams. But I don't think that is a fair way of.
I mean, these are all comments from non-cricketers. I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. Let's go to a net session with a bowling machine, and you just set the configuration of the bowling machine to bowl you 6 full tosses at the best, at a knee height, and I will challenge anybody who's a very good batsman to hit all those balls for 6 sixes. Not possible. I mean, you can't fix these situations. You can't fix all of these equations that were happening on there. So, exactly. I mean, I mean, if you take, I sorry to interrupt, but if you take this Pakistan, they took Imad Wasim, Azam Khan, everybody in their 11 because they were doing well in CPL, Mohammad Amir as well, and they wanted those 3 players to play for them in the West Indies pitches. Unfortunately, they never reached West Indies. They were knocked out from USA. So, I mean, how can you say that it was all favoring the group stages and the grounds and everything? It's all baseless, non-cricketing comments. So, actually, we just ignore it.
Good planning from the Indian side, though I didn't agree with the team selection in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think many of them were not happy with some of the players who were.
Correct.
And at one stage in the beginning, I never gave a chance of India. I mean, probably they would reach the Super 8, but I never thought they will go beyond that. But I thought it was super planning, the way the batting order was done and the way.
I want to answer your question. 2007 World Cup, if this was the same team that was going, Joginder Sharma in your playing 11, would you have agreed for that playing 11? Never, right? We won that. It is, I think this is all about how as a captain you have the playing 11 and the 15 in your team, and how does these guys come into the picture, and how what is the utility that I think as a captain I will be able to. Dhoni showed it with Joginder Sharma in 2007. He used Srishant, he used Yuvraj Singh, everybody the way he wanted to, and everything clicked and we won the World Cup. Similarly, this World Cup, lots of question was about Shivam Dubey. There were questions about Arshdeep Singh being preferred over Siraj and all those stuff. But you see what has happened. Akshar and Jadeja played all the games as 2 spinners. Whatever, whether they have come out as man of the matches or not, their utility, their usefulness in the 11 was always given to the playing 11. So I think India checked all their boxes.
No, I think they planned it very well.
Absolutely.
The practice sessions and the way the team, the performed, and what each player was given a specific task to do, and they stuck to that.
Yeah.
And they didn't, in panic and change the batting order, or they didn't bring in players.
Yes.
They looked at the situation and looked at the conditions of the ground and the pitches, and they played.
And the only change was Kuldeep came in for Siraj after they moved to West Indies.
No, we had talked about history opening and Kohli coming in at number 3 and all that. But
and when you talked about plan, right, I want to talk about the Gandhinagar ka Gunda in the Cred ad which used to play, Mr. Dravid, the wall, right? The planning and the dedication that guy has done for this, not only for this team. If you see for the past 4-5 years, I think 2018 when he started with the under 19s, fortunately Arshdeep was part of that under 19 winning team as well. The system that he created, it's not about coaching your 11 and the day of the game. The preparation which goes behind, it's not only one day. It is years, months that you invest with the group of bunch of players, with your support staff, with your coaches, the supporting coaches and all the stuff.
I think it started after India lost the ODI World Cup final, I think. From there.
2017, correct.
No, the one last year.
That was one of the phases, because if you see 2023 World Cup, the reason why I am interrupting is there was nothing which was not as per the plan. They were unbeaten. In a 50 over tournament, and you remember in that World Cup everybody was playing each other. It was not groups defined and all the stuff. So they beat everybody, including Australia, in the league games convincingly. Yes. So the guy needs the same respect that we are giving to Rohit Sharma and everybody. And I remember 2007 West Indies. He lost that World Cup 50 overs. India were eliminated in the group stages, and I think it took him 17 years. And he came back, and the emotion that he showed when he lifted the World Cup when Rohit and everybody was outstanding. That was the moment for me, and that was something very emotional that I got after seeing Dravid the way he responded.
So, four legends of Indian cricket have retired after
Yes.
this World Cup. Rohit, Kohli, Jadeja, and of course Dravid. But the future looks good for
Absolutely.
Indian cricket after this win. The whole host of young cricketers coming up. They are all straining at the leash to perform
Yes.
the world stage.
Yes.
And the IPL has given them a good
Yep.
grooming. And now they'll be going to Zimbabwe to play the ODI matches there. And Lakshman is still will be the coach for that. But to the end of this month, we'll be seeing a new coach
Yeah.
taking over. As Jay Shah said, the coach will be announced. And looks like Gautam Gambhir will be the coach. He's the front runner. So he will be appointed the coach. And for him, I think he has this pool of talent, I think. And all of them are capable, really, now of playing.
So
at the
Gambhir
highest
is
level.
getting served on his plate, and again, I'm not taking anything away from him or what he will do with the team. Future will decide, right? I mean, for me, I disagree on the fact that because he has done well with KKR recently and in the past also, he will be same success with Indian team. He might be, he might not be. That future will tell. However, again, I'm going back to the same guy, Dravid. The system that he has created with all these youngsters, with the domestic cricket, the Ranji Trophy, the Syed Mushtaq that we are playing, we have the under 16, under 19s. Everything is well settled, we are at par with Australia. If you remember last 20-30 years, why Australia was Australia? Because of their domestic setup that they have, and the way the domestic players perform at that level. And when you switch them to international level, nothing changes for them, because for them team is first priority. I think Dravid has been able to create that the paradigm shift from individual stars, which used to be Tendulkars and Gavaskars. Now, even if you had a Kohli, and Kohli who is not performed till the final, you are still a world champion. That is the paradigm shift that he has done, and I think it is gonna reap so good in the coming future. And I think we are looking at. I don't think so that it will be a surprise that next 4-5 years we'll be winning most of the championships.
Yeah, as some of the experts have said, India are totally dominant now, and it won't be a
Yes.
surprise if for the next few years they claim
Yes.
all the World Cups and will be dominant in cricket.
Yeah.
So on that happy note, we are signing off from this episode of Spot On, and we hope to bring
And just to finish, like the Rohit ate the soil and signed off to the World Cup and his excellent T20 career. We are also signing off from the T20 World Cup talk show that we have brought to you. The episodes that we tried to bring our opinions and expert views as far as our understanding of the cricket goes. It has been a great journey with you. Thanks a lot for inviting me and making me part of this. And thanks to the production team of Sportigo for helping us reach out to many cricketers through this channel to Singapore and other countries as well. So, great journey. Thanks a lot. India winning the World Cup is a cherry on the cake. So, we hope we continue this chat show for our upcoming tournaments and everything. And just before sign off, I would not say bye-bye. I would say Jai Hind. Thank you.
goodbye and take care.
Take care.
Like I said earlier, this is one of the most thrilling World Cup finals we have seen in recent years. And what the spectators felt like, and what was the mood in the Kensington Oval at the end of the final. We have our fellow panelist Neil Daswani, who was at the ground, who was at Kensington Oval, and let's see what he has to say.
What a great victory at Kensington Oval. The drought of 11 years finally ends. India's finally got an ICC championship, and Kohli came to the party finally. He saved his best for last. thank God he did that with Dubey and Akshar Patel playing fantastic supporting knocks. So India wins. Yay, India. South Africa, to their credit, put up a really good fight. They once again acted as a good bowling unit, but however, their middle order, there was a whole bunch of wickets falling. Peacock was the danger man. Clarkson played a fabulous knock, as only Clarkson can. He dominated spin, he dominated pace, he hit the maximum number of sixes, but in the end, India managed to win. What a great victory, and as you can see and hear, there's just terrific celebration all around. Yay, India, go India!